look at this map. This is Katy, Texas. The hub, the once sprawling housing market was here. Buyers were panicking. Buyers were lining up in lines to see houses. They were paying top dollar to buy a house. Well, now it's May 2026. The panic is over. The fury of buying houses is over. Somebody should get the message to the sellers, letting them know that, hey, those times have come and they have gone. So let's dive into it. See, in May of 2026, Katy, Texas is going through two wars. The first war is between real estate resale homes versus new home builders. See, the new home builders have different tactics, and we'll get into those in just a second, that a resale seller doesn't have. See, in today's market, the buyer now has more choices. The buyer has gone from being somebody who's panicking to no longer needing to panic. Inventory is up 18% year over year. Days on market have climbed from 40 to about 50 to 60 days. And guess what? The pricing has kind of leveled off a little bit, with the median price being around $350,000. Now, here's what's interesting. The prices aren't dropping. We're not seeing a crash. Matter of fact, experts believe in the Katy area, 2 to 5% increase each year will be what we see in the next few years. And yet sellers are still pricing their home as if this is COVID. This is a back to the basics kind of process where we're going back to what it takes to really sell a home. Well, what is it? If I'm a seller, how do I sell my home today? Well, there's three main things you need to do. One, you need to make sure that your home looks brand new. That's right, you're competing with new builds all over the Katy Fulshear area. So therefore, you need to do the painting. You need to touch up the baseboards. You need to refresh the lighting. You need to make sure the bulbs are working and they're all match. You need to ensure that your home is light and bright. You don't have to repaint cabinets or even change out the flooring. As long as you do some painting, it'll help. It depends on each house, of course. If I'm number two, what do I need to do? Well, I gotta price the house correctly based on the market. I understand you bought that house and you have an interest rate of 2.5% or 3% and you don't want to give it up, and the houses are more expensive now. And yet, if you have to move, then you need to price the house to move. You need to price the house to sell. What we tell people all the time is that you have to make your house look like a brand new model home, even though it's not a brand new model home. And then you gotta price it aggressively. You can't price it where the market is. You gotta price it for where the market is going. And sellers are not listening to that advice. Sure, you'll find some weak agent who tells you what you want to hear overall, and then they'll come to you and tell you to lower the price and lower the price and lower the price, and 6 months later you'll expire, and then some guy like me will call you and tell you, hey, you need to lower the price, and you're going to be upset. See, what we're seeing is that sellers aren't selling because they want a certain price in order to move into the new house, and what you don't understand is that the market doesn't give a crap what you need. They care about what the value is, and the buyer determines that. So now let's talk about this war that's going on between resale and new build. Well, the new builders are these huge corporations who can afford to take a little less margin if they need to. They're buying bonds cheap, and so they're offering interest rates at 3.99 and 4.9 and 4% to incentivize the buyer. They're also providing $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in incentives towards new build updates or upgrades, as well as towards closing costs. A normal resale buyer or seller who's had the house 10 years can't compete with that. So you have to compete in what I told you earlier. Number one, make your house look new. And number two, price it right. Well, Michael, what's number three? Well, number three, you got to hire Vantage Real Estate Group. You got to hire us because we will tell you the truth. We will bring you the analytics that you need to see to show you what the price should be. And if you decide you don't want to sell because you don't like the price, then don't sell. It's okay. I call this a have-to market. See, during COVID, people were selling because they want to. Well, now they don't sell unless they have to. And yet, there's still divorces, there's still family situations, there's still death, there's still births, there's still kids graduating, going off to college, and people downsizing. So there are people who have to sell. You just have to listen to the analytics and to the real estate agent you choose, and we trust it's us. See, new home builders can take that lower margin because, well, they can afford it. Now, why are people moving to Katy so much? I mean, we got new builds like Elyson, Sunterra, we got Jordan Ranch, we got so many new builds going on around the area. Why are people moving to Katy? Well, it's pretty simple. It's the infrastructure. And it's not just roads and all these different things. It's the retail infrastructure. Texas Heritage Marketplace with Academy and Target and Lowe's, all new restaurants coming around, coming out from Houston, coming out to Katy. We're starting to see Katy, instead of being just a sleepy suburb of Houston, it's actually a thriving city that can sustain its own. And what we're seeing is that people are moving to Katy because not only does it have the retail and the shopping and the food that you want, but it has the Katy ISD. And Katy ISD is one of the top districts in the state, if not the nation. And what we're seeing is that Katy ISD, with 97,000 students, is actually offering things that no other district is offering. Katy ISD has started an at-home virtual learning process. Katy ISD now caters to those highest level students who want honors and want to go on to be doctors and physicists and all these smart jobs. And then they also cater to those who desire to be a trade. Doesn't mean they're not smart, they just desire the trade. They desire to be welders or real estate agents, or they want to be barbers or beauticians. Well, Katy ISD now caters to that and offers those types of classes. They offer that type of internships. So because of that, parents are moving because the crime isn't high, the school district is great, the home value is good, it's not skyrocketing, and so that creates a demand. The challenge is for sellers, the demand is not as high as you need it to be. With the inventory 18% up over last year, buyers have choices. So let's do the right thing. Let's contact Vantage Real Estate Group. Contact us if you want to sell a home. And let's talk about what it takes to sell a home in Katy, Texas today. Till then, have a great day.